Welcome to the short pour of episode 4. As mentioned last episode, this is a 5 to 7 minute breakdown of what we discussed in the full episode. So, if you haven't had a chance to listen yet, this is your Cliff Notes version.
The short pour starts with the W-I-N-E. In this version, we let you know if we liked it, loved it, or loathed it. So Trish, what did you think of your wine in episode 4?
I loved it. Why did I love it? Well, I switched it up. I had beer. I love Bell's Brewing Company, and I tried their Hazy Hearted IPA. I love IPAs. I love hazies. End of story. Jules, what about you?
I tried out a French dry Riesling from Alsace. I totally botched that pronunciation during the actual episode, so had to correct it here. I liked it. Now, before we get into the substance of episode 4, I want to give you a quick trigger warning. In this episode, we are discussing the challenges that come with being the caregiver for your parents and also death and grief. So, just want to make sure everybody's aware before they continue listening. So Trisha, take it away.
The reason why we had this heartbreaking discussion for episode 4 was because Julie lost her amazing mother about a week before we recorded. And as we have said from the beginning of this season, we're keeping it real. We always keep it real, but we are really keeping it real this season. And that means sharing our struggles, including the difficult times with all of you. Julie and I have both discussed what caring for your parents, it is an absolute privilege, but it can be very challenging at times. And we know we're not alone. You know me and my stats. In fact, nearly 1 in 5 workers are caregivers for an older relative, with a significant portion of those actually caring for a parent. And so the studies that we were looking at show that about 42% of family caregivers in the US are actually caring for a parent, and 70% of those are employed.
So this impacts a huge faction of your workforce, most likely. Furthermore, approximately 1 in 9 employees in the U.S. workforce experiences the death of a loved one, including parents, spouses, and children, each and every year. And I think the most sobering statistic that you, Trisha, shared in episode 4 is that 79% of employees have considered quitting their job after the loss of a loved one. 79%!
Insane, but not a surprise. Not a surprise at all.
Right, and as we discuss further in the episode, there are a lot of reasons for this, but the most important reason for our purposes is that employees often feel like they aren't getting the support they need from their employers to navigate the challenges that come with being a caregiver and eventually losing that loved one.
So in our full episode, we discuss all sorts of ways that you can support your employees through those caregiver challenges and through grief. We're going to highlight some of those during the short pour right now. Julie, you want to start or do you want me to?
I'll take one. So I can vouch for this. I think it's really important directly after the loss to communicate with the employee. Now, I'm my own boss, so I did have to have a little talk with myself, but many times we're afraid to discuss grief because we don't want to upset the person further. We don't want to make them cry. We don't want to make it awkward. So we just don't talk about it. But to not discuss it can often appear callous. So you want to make sure that you are communicating with the employee, ask them how they're doing, ask them what they need. Both inside and outside of work. Like, you don't want to keep this a transactional thing, like we're only worried about what happens within the 4 walls of the office. What can you do for them potentially outside of work as well?
One of the things that you can do inside of work is to look at their task list and try to plan on how you're going to cover those items while that employee is on bereavement leave, and maybe for a portion of time after they come back for that leave. Additionally, think about what kind of tasks you may be able to delegate to someone else temporarily after that employee returns. So it's not just the task list, but it's just fully delegating.
And I can vouch that that is important because, I've only been back for about a week, not even a full week yet, since all the services for my mom. And I don't have the attention span to work for 8 hours every day. So, that's a really important thing to think about. Also, during the first 6 to 12 months after the loss, schedule regular check-ins with the employee. You want to just keep checking in on them because their needs are probably going to change. And one of the things we talk about in the full episode is that at that 1 month mark, a lot of people tend to fade away and people aren't getting that support any longer. So make sure you do that.
It's really important also to communicate with the team and do so without sharing personal details. Advise them of the loss and ask for their help covering those responsibilities like we talked about before while that person is on leave and when they come back.
Also, be patient with the employee when they do return to work. They're probably going to have a little trouble adjusting like I just discussed. So remind them of any EAP resources the company may have available, offer flexible work arrangements if you can, and talk with them about having a plan in case they're having a bad day.
You also are going to watch out for signs that your employee may need additional help. Some of the signs we talked about: lack of focus or productivity, social withdrawal, behavioral changes, maybe attendance issues or attendance changes, and that declining work performance.
So these are all really great tips. You can listen to the full episode to go really in depth on each of them. And also, just while most of our resources focus on bereavement and the death of a loved one, many of the steps can be applied to employees who are caregivers as well. Being a caregiver is a stressful experience that can last for years. So it's really important that employers are attuned to how many of their employees are in this situation and that they offer support and resources whenever possible.
You want the rest of the details, you know you do, so listen to the full-length episode, and please don't forget to subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. Cheers!